Rastafari greetings, one and all.
Ja.
Blessed love.
Rastafari.
Haile Selassie the First. Greetings in the mighty and divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. So we give thanks for being here today, the House of Rastafari, in the persons of, on my right, Brother Jimmy Lyons, here next to I, Brother Rasaibi, and Ayman Ras Julio. We are the House of Rastafari taking care, so to speak, of the Rastafari culture and activities related to Rastafari culture and way of life within the festival Rototom SUNSPLASH since 2003 now. So we are very glad to be here at the Reggae University. What we do usually is we keep most of our seminars and reasoning up at the House of Rastafari, and then sometime we are invited here in this beautiful place amongst beautiful people, and so it's a joy, it's an honor to be here reasoning with you today, and we have little time and many things to say, so let's just dive into it without further introductions. The topic of today is titled A Blessed Place to Be. As you know, the general theme of this edition is The Place to Be. Yeah, Rototom titled this 2026 edition The Place to Be. So we as a House of Rastafari, what we usually like to do is to harmonize with the festival's edition and maybe adding a little bit of Rastafari identity to the topic. And so we came up with the title, A Blessed Place to Be. So not only a place to be, but a blessed place to be. And this title is much more than a seminar. This title is much more than 1 hour reasoning. Is indeed a direction that we should all take in life. And the concept that we want to address here is one and very simple. Wherever you are in life, there is a possibility to access the blessing, the sacredness, and the godliness of life. So this is the core concept. Wherever you are, what does that mean, wherever we are? When we say a place, we're not speaking about a physical place. Yeah? A blessed place to be is not necessarily a physical place, but we are talking about a psychological, emotional, spiritual, existential stage of your life. This is the place that we are talking about. It can be a moment of joy or difficulty. It can be an experience of struggle. It can be a moment of abundance or limitation. No matter what you are facing, wherever you are, you can access blessings, strength, joy, and godliness. So what is godliness, first of all? Godliness is the desire and the action and the attitude in life through which you want to express devotion in what you do. Godliness is behaving as God would do. Godliness is honoring the beauty, the sacredness of life, the holiness of life. Godliness is higher than religion, maybe even higher than spirituality. Godliness does not confine itself to any religious group, faith or not faith. Godliness is something inborn in a human being. Yeah, everyone experiences godliness in front of a newborn baby. Everyone experiences godliness in front of something beautiful that you have in life. So the topic of today is about trying to find a way to remain strong and solid and building a dimension in which it doesn't matter what is happening in your life, still you can remain solid and you will be able to do something very special, which is to discover the hidden preciousness and sacredness in the moment you live. Every circumstance that we experience in life carries with it a blessing, a strength, a teaching, a spark of holiness. So sometimes we only need to learn how to extract that essence of strength, joy, and godliness within what we are experiencing. Having said so, Brother Rasaibi and Brother Jimmy Lyons, do them have something to say as an introduction to the reasoning of today? Rasaibi, you want to say something?
Yeah, it's always good to say something. Give thanks. Give thanks to be here again. Rototom, 2026, Reggae University. So it's good to be here. Sharing and caring has always been a part of Rastafari Livity, and the reasoning part, the oral part, is many times that half that has never been told, not always written down. Yeah, so oral transition has always been the reasoning behind, So we are here reasoning, how can a man live in this connection now with creator and creation, so at all times having, basically it's just a breath or two away. We have the proverbial 10 breaths that they always tell you when you end up in a situation. Don't react. Don't let just your emotion react. Take a little time to watch the thing, yeah? But from you start getting into the essence of life, this is not far away, So the blessed place to be, obviously, is in this here and now, because there's no better time than now to do whatever we need to do. Not tomorrow, not here and now, yeah. So how can we be? The question now is to bring forward now the reasoning about how can we remain, or how can we easily access this state of oneness, because when one is in oneness now, there is no duality. It's not me and you, we and them. It's just like I and I, and it's just like that with the Creator, with the creation. From you see Jah in man, say you is a godly man or godly woman. You see godliness in a man's face, and then you start realizing the word of life. That we are all sacred, universal beings. We are divine. We can look upon us just like normal, but why should we when we have a divine heritage? We are divine. We are princes and princesses. We are kings and queens, emperor and empresses. Look upon ourselves as divine. So in these divine temples now, we can learn to full joy life, the little moments of life, be in the here and now. And because sometimes the blessings is not always that very big thing, like a lottery win or something, but it's just sometimes a bird will give you a little chant. Give thanks.
Yes, I.
Jimmy Lyons. Give thanks.
Just thank you for giving me your time and for attending and giving us your ears. With a special and a place to be, and a blessed place to be. The most blessed place to be is within balance, within the I self, within oneself. And for the Rastaman, the fullness is within being in balance with the I, oneself. The I is I, and I is this I, and I is that I. We all have the same purpose on earth, which is to fulfill the glory of the one, the Maker. And the blessed place to be is within balance, within the I self. Within life, every type of condition and circumstance is possible. anyone can reach in them as well. Sometimes those things make you come into balance with yourself better. So the fullness is that. That's it.
Yes, I give thanks. So wherever we are, there is godliness to be found. Wherever we are, there is blessings to be found. And this does not mean to pretend that everything is good, yeah? It does not mean to escape reality. What it means is developing a spiritual consciousness that will enable you to remain solid no matter what happens. And remaining connected to the Creator, to creation, to your life, to your beloved ones, to the here and now, so that we can not only become strong during difficulties, but we can remain capable of perceiving and experiencing joy, gratitude, reverence during all aspects of our lives. Very demanding sometimes, especially when things go rough. But the blessed place to be is not necessarily a place, right? It's not necessarily somewhere else. It's not necessarily a destination. It is a dimension. It's a dimension that we can build, and this dimension, it is one of connection, and it's a dimension that we learn to build, to preserve, and to, very important, to revisit every time that we need. So it is a little bit of an exercise. We recognize that we need to build this dimension, then we build it, we preserve it, and then we revisit it. Because the circumstances in life, they will take us away from home. At this dimension, it is our home. So we have to learn how to come back. But if you do not familiarize with that dimension, you do not know how to come back. Or maybe it will take hours, days, months. But if we exercise, it will be a blink of an eye. This is what will take. A blink of an eye to come back to that dimension. So during this seminar, we will move through 3 movements, yeah? Recognition, connection, and transformation. This is at the origin and the base, at the foundation of building or finding or returning to this blessed place. So recognition, connection, and transformation. So recognizing, it means that we need to find the space in our lives. If we want to be happy in life, we need to connect with our spiritual dimension. There is no other way around. If we want to heal our wounds in life, we need to do that, reconnecting with our inner spiritual dimension. And when I say spiritual, I'm not saying religious necessarily. Spiritual means taking care of your inner personality, your emotional state, your psychological state, your connection with your life, with sacredness, with all these values that make the difference in our lives. So, wherever you are in life, you might know that there is a possibility of returning and accessing this blessed place. So now, what if I told you right now that in this very room there is much more than what you are seeing immediately? There is much more happening now in this tent. What if I told you that beneath the surface of ordinary reality, there is much more happening? There is much more connection, much more energy than what you managed to see on a superficial level. And what if I told you that there is a dimension within you which is wider than fears, than blockages, than limitations? What if I told you that there is a place within you which is beyond fears, tears, traumas, difficult emotions, difficult memories? What if I told you that in every given moment you have the possibility not only to heal your present, to heal your future, but to also heal your past? What if I told you that there is a place within your everyday life where you can feel one with yourself, one with the earth, one with creation, one with humanity? What if I told you that there is a dimension within you that if you access, then you will be able to communicate with others without needing words, languages, phrases, sentences? What if I told you that there is a place within you that you can revisit any moment and any time you need, and that place is a place of comfort, a place of healing, a place where you can be embraced by a warm feeling of home, a warm feeling of belonging, meaningful and purpose, a place where you can feel connected? What if I told you that this dimension does not disappear when you open your eyes? Try to think about, try to envision if we could maintain this state of being, a state of awareness, not only during our prayers or meditation, not only when we are in our room, in our bubble, with our eyes closed and everything is blissful. What if I told you that you can maintain this state when you open your eyes, and it's not gonna disappear? It's gonna be there. And what if I told you that this very place, it is not different from what you are seeing outside of you? It is the same place, the same reality, the same circumstance that you are experiencing, but we need to access its most inner significance, its most inner essence. Yes, this is the blessed place to be. The place where we stop being thirsty. The place where any kind of hunger gets fed and we feel sustained, we feel comforted, we feel that finally we reached home. And this home is nowhere else if not here. And it's not a place where we need to go, but it's a place where we need to return. And what if I told you that this place belongs to every one of you? And every one of you, every one of us is in charge of taking this place everywhere we go. And everything we do, we need to bring our own little home and make everyone welcome and invited to this place. So a blessed place is not somewhere you go, it's somewhere you return and then you share with the people. Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Highly I.
Selassie.
Give thanks. Yeah, as the book says, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of Jah Rastafari is within. It is not to go looked for out in the world, but it's something that one builds inner self, within oneself. So the kingdom of God, we can all be kings when we are gods, but we have to realize that and know this kingdom is growing. And it's like the book talk about the parable, saying it's like the smallest of seed, a mustard seed or something. But when the mustard seed grow now, it come like a rotted big tree, and all the birds of heaven come down and sit upon it. So yeah, man, we all have access to this place. It's not a physical place, but it's still a physical. But we are growing, the whole mankind, we are growing through certain processes. I think everybody's aware of that. It's an ending of certain cycles, some of them shorter, some of them 26 and odd thousands of years, and they are just finishing. And we are starting this, the promised golden years, the golden thousands of years where the angels and God will live amongst man and create a universal peace. state of mind. You know, and it's in many religions and spiritual traditions, it is told about the 1,000-year kingdom and so forth. And we are entering into those new heavens and new earth. So in this change of her, this new rhythm of life that one will have to access to reach the new frequencies. If one can live and turn on to new frequencies, one can continue live through this creation. Yeah, it's a blessed time. All the ancient prophets was looking forward to this time. You know that. They were looking forward to this time. It was written. Even Daniel himself had some revelation, and Father tell him, said, this one, just hold it, don't even write it down. Wait till your time come, you will come up again. So we get to see this change of times, you know, and the consciousness of mankind is just as it looks like we're in a terrible time, but it's just what you want to focus on. It's also a time unprecedented before, where mankind, heavens have to reach a new heights to deal with the liberty we have in front of us. There is no one going to come and wake all the problems away. It's I and I duty to deal with this. We all have a responsibility. Yours? We all have a responsibility. There is no other one we can say, you make me angry and that. No, it's how we choose to reflect and act to what's happening, you know. But we all can take charge first of our own lives, because this is what the reason is about, to find in this sacred place, this blessed place to be on a daily basis. It's always there. Give thanks. Rastafari.
Yes, I. So what if your mistakes, they were a door and not a blockage? What if your errors, your moments of difficulties, they were gateways to something greater, right? So what if we could learn how to transform our mistakes into a door to paradise? Paradise is here and now, is not somewhere up in the sky. Paradise is accessing this blessed place within everyday life. So, Livity, the Rastafari Livity, is a way of life. And way of life means that in everything you do in life, you try to access this place and you do everything from this place. Every connection you make in life, every endeavor you take on yourself in life, you try to do it accessing this place. Yeah? So, before jumping in something to do, you return to this place first, and then from there, you control what you're doing. Right? You don't do the opposite. You don't go far and then end up making something that you don't want to, or end up finding yourself where you don't want to, and then you try to run back home. You do everything from home, from this place. That's why the first part of this reasoning is about recognizing. So, what if there was this place and I have not seen it or find it as yet, and maybe I don't know how to return there? So this is the first part of the reasoning. What if there was this dimension that we had never familiarized with? And then there is a connection part. The second part is connection. Yeah? Connection means how to arrive and how to connect with that place. First of all, the secret here is that this world is the place. We don't have to go somewhere else. Yeah? What we see externally is only a reflection of something deeper inside of ourselves. So the blessed place to be is not somewhere up in the sky, is not somewhere necessarily inside a temple or a church or a tabernacle. The blessed place to be is in this world, because reality is layered, right? Very important concept. There is what is visible and what is invisible. This is what we know, and there is what we know to exist here physically, but there is also what exists and is invisible but is still existing. Think about love. Who has ever seen love? You cannot see love, but everybody feels it. Everybody shapes their life according to love. Who you marry, your children, your family, your friends. So love, nobody has ever seen it, but most of the time we make our life depending on love. So what we mean is that everything begins inside and then it manifests outside. So in order to understand how to connect with this place, first of all we need to understand that this place is here and now. But there is a huge but. It is concealed. It is hidden. This blessed place is not always necessarily reachable and accessible. It is somehow concealed. Concealment means it's hidden. You cannot see it straight away. It is hidden behind some layers. Because what? Because reality is layered. So, because it is concealed now, we must find it and awaken it. And it must be activated, right? So this is the very important aspect of this second part of the reasoning, the connection. Connecting means access that place and activate it. Activated means that we go within, deep within ourselves, and we realize where that place is, and we try to reawaken it, or maybe making it always more awakened and stronger and stronger. So to give a very simple and practical example, if you're very distressed and you come back home at the end of a very long and tiring day, and you sit down on your couch and you let your body go, and it's like, wow, oof, the world was so heavy on me today, but now somehow I feel light, I feel distended, I feel the stress is gone. So now I am in a very wonderful moment. So let's try to envision the possibility of returning to that moment. Not only when we are crashing on the couch at the end of a very long and tiring evening, but maybe every time that we are entering a state of frustration, of anxiety, of fear, we return to that moment. It's like, oof, wow. Try to think when you are really, really thirsty, yeah, but you don't have access to water, and at one point you grab a glass with nice and fresh water, pristine water, and you drink it and you feel revived. You feel like life has come back to you. So try to envision the possibility of returning such a stage and such a state of contentment in life. These are simple examples to say that during our days we always experience moments of bliss, so to speak. They are very ordinary, very simple, nothing supernatural. Maybe they come from a fresh glass of water after a long walk under the sun. But that moment of bliss, it is present within us. It does not belong necessarily to the glass of water. It is a place within us. The glass of water activated. So we can find it within us every time. And maybe activate it even without the glass of water. So the very important notion here is that connection, it does not mean inventing a blessed place. Connection means finding it within us and then trying to exercise the returning there, the revisiting it anytime we need. Why is this important? This is important because when you are frustrated in life, when things start to go very difficult, if you have access to this place, you can return there anytime. And you feel safe, and the stress immediately disappears. If we do not have, let's say, if we do not know the address of this place, we cannot return to it anytime we need. That's why practicing revisiting this place is for us not simply a form of meditation. It's a true, what we call, is a true self-salvation. We are saving ourselves. It is self-liberation. We are learning how to liberate ourselves from the difficulties without any external help. Because the Rastaman say that everything that man needs, it is contained within man. So this is what we're talking about here. Of course, it's great to speak, go and talk to a friend, go and do therapy, go and get some kind of healing or comfort. It's wonderful, but remember, external help is not going to work if you do not open this little door within yourself where this place is. That's where the healing takes place. That's where the joy multiplies. And that's where your liberation takes place. So recognizing the place, it means to be curious about it, to discover there is this place. Connection this place means to revisit this place, to find it, revisit it, and then learning how to access to it in every moment you need. It will be instant. You will carry with you anywhere you go. And so you finally become so solid that anything happens to you, you will be able to find the inner spark of godliness, teaching, and blessing contained in it. Even if it is concealed, maybe within the difficulties of a situation. This is what the Rastaman is here to share with the world. Do not stop at the first layer of reality, which is the ordinary, what you perceive and what you see. Take that courage to do the next step and jump into the next layer of reality, where maybe the true meaning of what you are experiencing is. Sometimes something bad happens to us and we feel like the world is crashing on ourselves, and that's it. But then through the overstanding, which is looking at things from above, we try and we manage to access the real meaning, the ulterior layer behind what we are experiencing. And then when that happens, the stress, the burden disappears immediately. That's what we mean by self-liberation. Do not wait for the world to come and liberate you. You have the power to do it. We have the energy, the qualities, the faculties to do it. But it can only happen if we learn how to access this blessed place to be. Aizizai.
Eliai.
Selassie.
Give thanks to us, Julia. Wise words. So I would just like to add some practicality into this. Sometimes in life, because of your busyness of mind and your work, it might feel a little hard to come to that level of meditativeness where you feel to, So there are some certain practical things one can do. One of those is one probably need to ground oneself, and one simple way is just pull down your earlobes. Yeah, grab your earlobes and just pull down your earlobes. It's a very natural way to ground your energy from being up in the head to being more grounded with the earth. It's a very simple thing, but it also puts you in a balanced mind state. You know, we have two type of nervous systems. Yeah, the sympathetic nervous system, the parasympathetic, and they have different functions. We have two sides to the brains. So simple exercises or simple breathing exercises can help us to harmonize, find that inner balance. And it's only when you have that inner balance you can get to a next state now where you can be meditative or penetrate something more deeply. If you're not in balance, in equilibrium, your mind is not steady. So the first is to balance, finding the inner balance. And that is usually come from chanting Abingi. Even like Abingi is a mantra because it's just 1, 2. 1, 2, do good is the whole meaning of Nyabingi. So when you do this and chant this for hours and hours, it lifts you to a very high state in your vibration. You know, your energy body, your mind. It's very powerful. So healing methods now and healing through the way that was Julie also is showing that however we still want to, however words we want, is a reality thing in our daily life. We want to be able to reach, exist in this blessed place to be. That's where we want to be. And how do we do it practically? I'm just giving one example. If one feels a little bit out of balance, simple thing is to ground oneself. You can help somebody if you pull them on the back and you can pull them toes. But to ground yourself, just grab your earlobes and pull down. It puts you in a balanced state. So, and from this state now, it might be then easier to go in yourself, to find that blessed place to be. Rastafari.
Just in terms of the metaphysics of the human being, so we're in a blessed place to be, and we call ones and ones human beings. So we are being before we do anything, we be. And within the human being is duality all the time, because every life will have all form of circumstance to deal with. One part of the human have a place called Sheol, Abaddon, where anything bad can be left, anything. And the next part is Shiloh, where light is within everyone. There's a possibility. Just a couple kind of straight examples. We see with our eyes, but what we see has an optic nerve that has to turn everything straight, because what we really seeing is not what we understand. So within the concept of life and how Jah has put I and constructed I, we have that duality where something can always have to set within the I self, and a level of yourself has to do that. But you still have the two places of Sheol, Abaddon, where things can abandon. For instance, not wish on anyone, but these things happen, accident, bam, you knock out, you're in shock. You don't even feel the pain till after, because you've gone to Abaddon, you've gone to Sheol, is within you. And then something else, exhilaration, you don't even know you feel high. You wake up from a sleep and you're gone to the heavens and the vibe in you. And we all feel these things. So it's just to show ones that it exists within I all. And the better part of the balance is to keep the balance of light and shade within oneself.
Give thanks. Well, until now we have spoken about recognizing, we've spoken about connecting, but let's jump into the third section of the reasoning of today, which is transformation. When everything goes well, it's easy to find the blessings, right? Everybody agrees on that. But what happens when life pulls away the carpet from under our feet. What happens when the situations start to be harsh on us? Yeah? This is where another principle enters. Well, I should say other principles enters, other words. Repairing, correcting, realigning, and transforming. So reparation, correction, realignment, and transformation. At the deepest level, our essence, our soul is pure and it cannot be broken. Very important concept. Each one of us has inside a place which cannot be broken by any circumstance in life. It doesn't matter how bad and traumatic that is, there is a place within you which cannot be broken into pieces. So to repair, it does not mean that you are ultimately broken. To repair, it means that you can access a greater level of healing within your life. Accessing that blessed place to be, which can never be extinguished, can never be fractured, can never be broken, and can never die. So keep this in mind. There is a place within me which cannot be extinguished, cannot be broken. That is our ultimate strength. That is your regenerative power, never extinguishing. It's like a source of strength and joy and life and vitality that we all contain. Sometimes this place, maybe you want to call it soul, you want to call it Zion, sometimes this place, maybe it might be a little bit bruised. Yeah, maybe you have some scratch on it because life can be hard, but it can never be broken. So, in order to transform, we do not need to become somebody else. We need to recognize that maybe something is blocking us to access that place. And sometimes in life, we need a package of difficulties in order to access that place. It's a package that we might call darkness. Darkness does not mean something, like horror movie, anything like that. Darkness means confusion, where in life you stop seeing the luminosity of what you are experiencing, when your existence stops being so vibrant and upful and cheerful, and you feel down. You feel like the world is getting heavy on you. And maybe we have been given this package of darkness in life in order to realize how much strength, courage, and power we might be. So there is no greater joy in life than confronting this darkness and transforming it into light. Small example. Think about moments in your life, or maybe in the life of people you might know, in which they were, or you were, or we were going through something very, very difficult, like physical illness, mental difficulties, something bad that happened. And then, through our effort, we managed to come out of it, and we managed to find a way to transform that negativity into something greater, right? It might be the loss of a beloved ones, it might be, heartbroken, it might be breaking up, it might be losing your job, it might be anything that has put you down, and you manage to find a way to get up on your feet and get back to your original strength and access a new strength. Well, anyone that has been experiencing anything like this, I dare that he or she will say that transformation process was one of the most amazing and formative experiences in their life. And they would never change it for anything else. To the extent that they would say, yes, it was very hard, but it was worth it, because I accessed that place where I managed to transform things. So now I'm stronger, I'm a better human being, I'm more grateful, more thankful, and so forth. So, fixing the problem does not mean to avoid the problem. And here we arrive to another very important subject of the reasoning of today. The blessed place is concealed, right? Is hidden. What we need to learn is not simply to fight the darkness, but we need to fix the concealment. In other words, repairing means fixing the concealment. It means looking at darkness, looking at the struggle, and working with it in such a way that it does not simply block our access to the blessed place, but can become a source of revelation of light. So we don't need to spend so much time in trying to fixing the darkness. We have to fix the concealment, meaning we have to realize that the blessings sometimes are hidden, and we need to fix the hidden aspect of it in order to access the blessing behind that. So it's like you receive a beautiful present, but it is in a very ugly packaging. So your problem is not truly about where the present is, because the present is there. Your problem is to get over the fact that the package is very ugly, not inviting. So fixing the concealment is the ultimate secret in order to access the blessed place to be. Fixing the concealment means that when I work with fear, with trauma, with pain, with addiction, with blockages, I'm not simply trying to erase something to return to normal. I take the emotions that are blocking my light and I actually transmute them until they become a channel to reveal my inner light. This is fixing the concealment. It means fixing, transforming the ugliness of the package, the bad packaging, knowing that inside the package there is something great. This is transformation, turning darkness into light. And the same energy can move in another direction. Forces that can destroy, when realigned, can become instruments of blessings. So the very forces that create darkness can themselves become tools to express your greatest light. And when we access this power in our life, wow, we become unbreakable, honestly. It doesn't mean that bad stuff doesn't happen to us. Yes, of course, things will happen to us, but we become unbreakable because we learn that behind the bad packaging, there is something very luminous. So you're not scared of the packaging, yeah? So you are confident that there is something else beyond that. And that's a source of joy, it's a source of purpose that gives you motivation to fight, to go ahead, to remain strong, to not lose direction. That's the blessed place to be. The solidity, the dimension. And this is what the Rastafari ancients, the matriarchs, the patriarchs, they have taught us. Not to be great believers, but to enter the dimension and to cultivate how to remain in that dimension as long as we can. And we bring it anywhere we go, anywhere we are. And we remain, we become embassies of this Livity. Anywhere you go and you see a Rastaman, a fully rooted Rastaman or Rasta woman, they are embassies of this light. What is an embassy? An embassy is like a place within a country that represents another place. If I go in Sweden and I enter the Italian embassy, they will be speaking Italian, they will be talking about, it's like being in Italy but you are in Sweden or wherever you are. So the Rastaman or the Rasta woman is an embassy of this godliness, because it doesn't matter where he or she is, it doesn't matter where they are representing that costume, that culture, that dimension. This is why we are here at the House of Rastafari, to be embassies of this. That's why we chant the Nyabingi, that's why we beat the drums, because we don't want to teach you something. We want to bring you somewhere. This is ultimately our mission, to bring you somewhere where we can be together in a place that smells nice, that feels fresh, that sounds comforting, and that ultimately is a place of healing, a place of strength, a place of connection with our inner dimension. This is a blessed place to be. So transformation is essential. So remember, don't fix the problem, fix the concealment, and then you will ultimately fix the problem. In other words, remember always that the problem is hiding something greater behind it. When you fix the concealment, you are halfway through, and then the solution will come natural. Because every problem is not other than a concealment for the solution. So why? The question now is, why do good things have to come concealed? Well, because otherwise maybe we would not access the blessing within it. We would feel it was too ordinary, we would take it for granted, or maybe we would be distracted and we would not pay that attention. So the blessing come in disguise. The blessing come in a package which is not inviting, but which is like pushing us to having to do something. And that's where we grow. So recognizing, connecting, and transforming. These are the three main elements for accessing this blessed place, remaining in it, dwelling in it, and bringing it anywhere you are. Blessed love.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, Ras Julio. I would like to add just something short to this, is that in the word of healing, that's the person who generally has gone through a transformative stage in their life, transforming pain, sorrows, anger into more positive mind state and bodily states. They usually turn to be the best therapists, because they have their self gone through those pains, going through the reality, and they can much easier have that empathy and that feeling for our next person going through those stages. So in Chinese medicine, for instance, they say that any person who have a illness or an imbalance, that person is blessed indeed. In the Western world, we are looked upon like, you have a flu, and like it's a curse hit you or something. But in the Eastern world, they will say, no, I know so it go. It's a blessing, because in the blessing now consists of you recognize that, okay, I'm out of balance. And for you to get now to a state of balance, equilibrium, where then the forces of nature, who is the true healer, the only healer. I cannot fix nobody, I can help somebody, but the nature will heal when you're in a state of balance. So to get into this state of balance and be able to take in the healing is something essential. It's something very, very essential. And a person who has gone through the stages of healing themselves also turns out to be a good therapist, a good healer of other person through their own experience. Only that. Thank you so much. Bless.
Yes, I. So please, bring away with you that small notion. Every downgrade is in truth your upgrade. This is the essence of what has been said here today. When in life you're experiencing a downgrade, please remember what has been said here in this day in August at Rototom SUNSPLASH. Every downgrade is in truth a upgrade. So when you feel you're going down and things start to not make any sense anymore, that's the place where you must be in order to grow and rise to a next stage of your life, right? So that's when we access the greatest strength, when we have a breakthrough. But remember, the downgrade is indeed an upgrade. The struggle, it will bring you more power, more strength, more joy, more confidence. And remember, wherever I am, I can connect. Wherever I am, I can see the source of light and I can connect to it. There is no place which is absent of this light. So now the homework is in your hands.
So no matter what the crisis is, no matter what the crisis is, what you have to do? Live it up, live it up, live it up, live it up. And give Jah all the thanks and praises. So no matter what the crisis is, come to Jah and give thanks and live it up. And you will find your way to rise above it.
Right, so blessed, blessed, blessed. So we have honestly a couple of minutes for a couple of questions. Do we have some time? Are there any quick questions that you might like to ask? Is there anything that you would like to ask? Or share the same way.
Can you hear me? Greetings, I'm Empress Mavi, and I am an embassy of a blessed place. And I'd like to share very quickly a practical way to, the way I found a blessed place, using the same words that Ras Studio used. He talked about recognition. For me, recognition is counting your blessings. So every day, instead of complaining about what you don't have, or what you would like to have, the best practice is to count your blessings. For example, I have a roof over my head, I have electricity, I have water, I am blessed. Maybe I have mom, dad, sister, brother, daughter, and son loving me, I am blessed. I've got my health, I am blessed. And if I haven't got any of the above, I am breathing, I am blessed. The second step is connection. For me, connection is gratitude. When you are deeply and truly grateful for all your blessings. And that's also for me the secret of happiness, being grateful. And the third stage, transformation. For me, transformation, once you reach the blessed place, is, come on guys, come with me. So sharing your blessings and your happy place with all the people around you, no matter if you know them, you don't know it. Like here at Rototom, there are, I don't know, millions, no, maybe not millions, hundreds, thousands, a lot of people you could share your blessing with. And right now, I'm doing that. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Keep finding your blessings.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. Any other voice? Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah. This will be, yeah, it has been recorded, so you can access it on Rototom's YouTube channel, I believe. On my Instagram profile will remain there. And so before we go, I would like to invite you to come and visit us at the House of Rastafari anytime you wish, anytime you feel like. The House of Rastafari is not a place only for the Rasta. You know, it's a house where we welcome everyone to spend some time with us. Otherwise, we feel very lonely. So please come over there and full joy the Naya Bingi session. Tomorrow at 5:30, we'll be there chanting the Naya Bingi. But just come down anytime and sit, even in the evening. Come in the backyard, take a seat. Full joy the vibration. Come and ask something or answer something. Just come and hold the vibe, because the Rastafari family is here exactly for this purpose. So thank you so much from the depth of our heart for your presence, for your love. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing your energy with us. This is not a one-way direction. It is actually a two ways. So we are not here to teach. We're here to learn from you guys in order to build always stronger this blessed place where we all want to be together. So one perfect love, one perfect harmony, one perfect faith. Rastafari Livity for one and all.
Rastafari. Thank you. Thank you.